Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel, and I've got a few tasty stories for you. Yum, 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 tasty crypto stories. I'll be starting with this one from crypto media outlet You Today. Ripple gains 51 million XRP through Bitstamp, while 65 million XRP gets shifted by large players. So, Ripple continues to purchase back XRP. And yeah, gotta love the Bitcoin maxi trolls. When they're selling XRP, Ripple's the worst. Oh my god. Now when Ripple's buying back XRP, oh my gosh, they're just doing it to try and prop up the price because, oh my god, this and that. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Oh, Bitcoin maxi trolls, why don't you waddle on the hell out of here? You smell like sadness and room temperature cottage cheese, and I'll have none of it on the Moon Lambeau channel. That's what's up right now. I got a couple other stories I want to share with you as well, including this one, which is just genuinely fascinating, and not particularly good for at least one individual, from the Daily Huddle. This one's titled, Ouch. Bitcoin investor just paid $47,000 in fees to move $194 in Bitcoin. Whew, somebody's having a bad day, man. And then there was this piece from the Daily Huddle. Will the U.S. outlaw Bitcoin? Dan Morehead and Mike Novogratz address top crypto concern. And I enjoy following these two. I'm actually, in particular, Dan Morehead. He's not always in the news, but I'm a big fan. He's just so insightful. He's got a wealth of knowledge, and he also, by the way, happens to be rather pro Ripple and pro XRP. And within the last couple of months, last time I saw him, be interviewed anyway. Maybe there's something after that, but not that I'm aware of anyway. He was asked effectively, okay, so what does it make sense to invest? I can't remember the exact question. But, given, the just complete debasement of the United States dollar, runaway printing with fiat currencies all over the globe, what would it make sense to hold? Like, what cryptos might do well? And he specifically cited Bitcoin and XRP. He says he thinks that cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and XRP will do very well. Now, I do want to be clear, I'm not a financial advisor. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I don't. And you absolutely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write, okay? I just like to talk about this stuff as an enthusiast for fun and make YouTube videos as a hobby. That's it. That is all that it is. I don't want anyone to think that I'm anything, someone or something that I'm not, because then I just feel bad. So I'm super duper transparent about that. If you would please delicately tap the like button. If you're a fan of Ripple and XRP, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambeau channel, because I promise if you do, that you might not regret it. That's as far as I can go, though, which means that you might regret it. But just, do it anyway, damn it. All right, into this first piece now. 51 million XRP, well, that's more than a little bit. According to data shared by XRPL Monitor over the past 24 hours, Ripple Decacorn has acquired 51 million XRP via its major on-demand liquidity corridor in Europe, Bitstamp. Also, a few other major players have shifted around 65 million XRP among each other. Meanwhile, BitTrue Exchange has launched a new XRP trading pair. So I always like to see XRP trading pairs because, frankly, it just makes it easier to move around and more likely for XRP to get traded and used in various capacities for that. So I know they're never major stories, but I like mentioning when they're actually in the news here. As far as Bitstamp, it's still interesting to me. So they were talking about, so they have the location over in Europe, but it's just funny. There's two official partners of Ripple that are liquidity pools. They're partnered as part of RippleNet, specifically on-demand liquidity utilizing XRP as a bridge currency. One is Bittrex, the other is Bitstamp, because they also have a location in the United States. And it's interesting that most of the flows in the corridor from the United States to Mexico, it's actually through Bitstamp, not so much from Bittrex for whatever reason. But anyway, and then this little subheading is Ripple buying XRP from Bitstamp, 51 million XRP. Data from the past 24 hours shared by the XRPL Monitor tracking bot states that the Ripple behemoth, along with Bitstamp, Binance, and BitGo, have cumulatively transacted around 116.4 million XRP amongst each other. Yeah, just wait as things ramp up, especially with the inevitable, in my opinion anyway, inevitable parabolic move just for the crypto asset class. Wait to see what happens with XRP specifically, but it's just going to become all the more frequent, I suspect, anyway. Especially when you're talking about the need for a reshuffling of liquidity here. Depending on the degree to which XRP for sale in these various exchanges that are partnered with Ripple for on-demand liquidity, to the degree to which it gets used. But anyway, Ripple wired 20 million XRP, sending half of that to its ODL corridor Bitstamp based in Luxembourg. Later on, The blockchain heavyweight received 51 million XRP from Bitstamp in 2 transactions. So it was $31 million, $31 million XRP transaction and a $20 million one. And so this sparked a discussion in the comment thread as to what made the blockchain giant acquire the XRP from Bitstamp. Well, they got to get it from somewhere. I've seen them do it from Binance and I believe Coinbase also. I think they have. I could be mistaken. I'm pretty sure I've seen that from them. And it really just seems to be primarily a reshuffling of liquidity, like just where it's available. Because understand, like, these corridors that are open, they're going to be heavier in one direction than the other, right? The obvious, and the degree to which it's heavier, I mean, it's going to vary, but it's pretty damn heavy from the United States to Mexico rather than from Mexico to the United States. You can imagine what that'll do in terms of availability of XRP. And so I think that they're just buying back and moving around, and it also has to do with what's available on the market. And that's why I always liked how Galgatron, XRP community member Galgatron, framed the situation. That he just calls Ripple a benevolent whale, which I think is cool. It's just, it's a respectable term, and that they're a whale, meaning they've got massive XRP holdings. But that's part of what made me appealed to this, because I love that there's a serious company that is helping to build out the XRP ecosystem. So whereas the Bitcoin maxi trolls, they think that's a negative, fine. We can have disagreement there, and we do. To me, it's one of the reasons that I was interested in investing. So completely opposite, because I don't have this fear of trust in businesses and people in general. It's like, burn me and I'll not trust you then. Okay, fine. But I think that we as humans need to be able to trust businesses and people in a general sense until we find that it's not reasonable to trust. And to not have that as a baseline is just kind of like a weird way to approach life, in my humble opinion here. All right, into the next piece, titled, Ouch! Bitcoin investor just paid $47,000 in fees to move $194 in Bitcoin. Ouch. An unknown Bitcoin investor is paying tens of thousands of dollars in transaction fees to move a small amount of Bitcoin. According to the latest Block Explorer data, the user sent a total of 0.010885549 Bitcoin worth $194 to an unknown wallet and shelled out 2.66 Bitcoin worth $47,000 in transaction fees. The transfer was initially cited by the automated distributed ledger tracking tool known as Bitcoin Blockbot. The expensive transfer comes as Bitcoin's transaction fee is going through a sharp decline. BitInfo Charts reports that the current average transaction fee is just 0.00027 Bitcoin, worth $4.82, down 63% from transfer charges in October, when fees skyrocketed to an average of $13.15 after the leading cryptocurrency breached key resistance of $10,000. And that's part of the reason I think this is going to be really interesting, because the market is heating up. What's going to happen when fees absolutely skyrocket beyond what we ever saw happen in 2017? Because for those of you not around in 2017, let me make you be aware that there were transaction fees for Bitcoin of over $50, maybe upwards of $60, somewhere thereabout. Think about that, $50. Whereas with XRP, by the way, fractions of a penny for a single transaction. Just saying. So what's going to happen? What if Bitcoin gets to the point where, because there's such congestion in the market, what if fees get up to hundreds of dollars? Like, to a person that wants to buy like $50 worth of Bitcoin, what if there's what if there's a fee that's $100 or $200 or $300? Who knows how high it would go? And I don't know. I'm not pretending to know, but it's going to be higher than it was last time if there's more congestion, would it not be? That's probably reasonable to suspect, right? And it just makes me wonder, are we going to reach a point where people are like, yeah, this is not appealing? It just makes me wonder. I don't know. I think it's a legitimate concern. And then you could argue, okay, well, maybe there will be more miners picking up the slack, this and that, and maybe it would, from a competition perspective, okay, yeah, that would be a fair point. But still, you have that congestion with, a maximum of, 5 to 7 transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain per second. So again, without Lightning Network functioning, and maybe it will work in the future, maybe it won't, I don't know. That's why, look, Bitcoin has been heavily tested for over a decade, and it deserves credit for standing the test of time to this point. It just hasn't passed every single test. So, and maybe it will. Maybe it'll get past all these, and I would prefer for that to happen. But I think that they're reasonable criticisms to bring up here. But anyway, earlier this month, 2 Bitcoin whales moved nearly $500 million worth of Bitcoin and paid a combined transaction fee of just $46. The case of the unusually exorbitant transaction fee is likely the result of human error. The Bitcoin user may have made a mistake in manually constructing the Bitcoin transaction. See, there you go. That is a costly error, if indeed that's what happened. I don't know what else it would be, frankly, so you would think it's got to be, right? I can't think of another plausible reason that would have happened. And it's funny, there were multiple outlets that picked this up. I read a different article on the same topic, and it's like they wrote something, it kind of made me chuckle. I've used the phrase myself, but like somebody's got fat fingers or something like that. I was like, yeah, somebody's got fat fingers. Meaning somebody, they bumped the wrong key or something, this or that, and resulted in losing tens of thousands of dollars. Not exactly ideal. All right, into the next piece now. Will the U.S. outlaw Bitcoin? Dan Morehead and Mike Novogratz address top crypto concern. Two high-profile crypto CEOs say it's too late for governments to put the Bitcoin genie back into the bottle. In a new interview on the What Bitcoin Did podcast, Dan Morehead, the founder of blockchain investment firm Pantera, says there may have been a time when Bitcoin was vulnerable to an all-out ban from the U.S., but that time has passed. Here's a quote. I think Bitcoin has reached escape velocity. There was a time when regulators or even a monopoly of banks could have shut it down. It's now way bigger than that. I think one of the big announcements was when China announced their version of it. It's game on now. Somebody is going to build a blockchain-based payment system. China's going to build one. Bitcoin has one. There's going to be some others. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. It's out. I like that. Can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. Anyway, Galaxy Digital founder Mike Novogratz agrees. He points to institutional adoption of Bitcoin as another turning point that has cemented Bitcoin's status as a legitimate investment that's here to stay. And here's a quote from Mike Novogratz. The fact that Stanley Druckenmiller came out publicly on TV and said, I'm into Bitcoin, not as much as gold, but I'm into Bitcoin, is a monster statement. You get him in, Paul Tudor Jones in, so many other prominent investors in, there's no longer any stigma to being in. And as you get them in, as you get Fidelity doing custody, all these institutions start coming in. They've got a vested interest, and they know all the people in charge. You get the money class involved. It's harder for the regulators to just say no. It's politically unpopular. Bitcoin is owned by 100 million people globally. I remember when they tried to ban it in Korea, and the next day there was a giant protest at the Blue House in Korea. I think it feels similar here. I do think the page of the book has shifted. It doesn't mean you're going to have all green lights on regulation. We're watching really carefully who the next chairman of the SEC is. Really, the SEC and the OCC, which is the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, are two big jobs. The Secretary of Treasury is also important, not necessarily from a regulatory perspective, but from a tone perspective. And so, as I've said in the past, as time passes, it's going to be increasingly difficult for the naysayers to justify their opinion. How could it be as another 5 years pass, another 10 years from this point pass, 15, 20? How are people that are the naysayers today going to maintain that position? Are they really just going to be sticks in the mud that say, no, this is a Bitcoin bubble that's going to pop, blah, 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 the Ponzi scheme, blah, 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 blah. At some point, you gotta, if you're intellectually honest, you gotta look inward and be like, okay, what did I have wrong? Because it's here and it's been 30 years. There has to be a come to Jesus moment on something like this. Like, what did I get wrong? So I hope that people, and well, we've already seen it, actually. And so I think it's a hope that we'll see come to pass in a general sense for most anyway. People are changing their tune on Bitcoin and the crypto asset class as time passes. And I want to see this because for me as an XRP holder, that's fantastic. I want general adoption because I just want the bigger pie, and XRP will have whatever percentage of that pie, that bigger pie. And to me, that'll be super duper fantastic. Anyway, that is it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!